Welcome back. Artificial intelligence is one of the top 5 reasons behind job losses this year. That's according to career transition service firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. A new article in the Wall Street Journal that caught my eye details how young, educated Americans are struggling to break into the workforce and are some of the earliest victims of this technological revolution. Its co-author Lindsay Ellis joins me here now. Lindsay, it's great to have you in the Conversation Corner. Yeah. Thanks so much. I want to tie 2 things together here because there is an artificial intelligence story that is driving stock market gains, higher productivity. It is possibly insulating a lot of big companies from tariffs, at least so far. That's the high side of this story. But you and others at the Wall Street Journal detected a hard job market, a surprisingly hard job market for college grads. Walk us through that.
Yeah, and what's especially fascinating is that some of the industries where productivity has increased the most are seeing the softest demand for new graduates, connecting those 2 issues. Demand has fallen, we've found, in a variety of sectors. Yes, tech, but also marketing roles, traditional business back-end roles. Chief executives have told us in each of those cases, or recruiters or investors, that new graduate work can be pretty easily offloaded to artificial intelligence, and that they're making, decisions about whether to hire someone new or replace someone who left, and in many cases are leaning on that technology instead of extending an offer.
I have heard that if you are someone in the communication space, marketing, things like that, it's very fraught out there. You mentioned the article, information, finance, insurance, technical services, and let's just break it down, folks, on the graphic level. Bachelor's degree or higher, 2.7% unemployment rate. Overall unemployment rate, 4.2%. So this is filtering through those who are looking for new jobs.
Yes, and so for young professionals with a bachelor's degree, in that 22 to 27 age range, the Burning Glass Institute really dug into their unemployment rate and found that, the cohort who had a bachelor's, who were in that 20-something group, their unemployment rate had risen the fastest over the last few years, faster than people with associate's degrees, faster than people with just a high school diploma. So it's these individuals who have college degrees, maybe haven't found a job that requires one, their unemployment rate is getting worse.
And so if you're knocking on this door and it simply does not open and you're a college graduate, what are your options?
It's a great question. So the young professionals who I'm talking to, the people who hire them, the advice that keeps bubbling up in these conversations is to focus on the types of positions that really value person-to-person connection. One young woman who I talked to a couple months ago, she was laid off from a position, a back-end, HR payroll job, and now in her new role, she's in her new job search, she's looking for a position that she thinks would be less susceptible for automation, something that requires either a strategic bend or kind of face-to-face in-person communication, client-facing roles, to try and be less exposed to the technology.
But there's a numbers game here. There simply aren't that large a volume of those kind of interactive face-to-face jobs as compared to the back-end support ones that are being moved out, if not erased entirely, by artificial intelligence.
Absolutely, and even in the last few years, the Burning Glass Institute was looking at the share of college graduates who wind up in jobs that don't require a degree. So that term is called underemployment, and that is increasing and very much so since the pandemic, especially. So many college grads are landing in these positions that don't make use of the diploma that they've spent a lot of money on.
They're overqualified and underemployed, essentially.
Absolutely, yes. And you try and think about the numbers game of how do you land one of these jobs that will earn you enough money to maybe pay back some of that debt or get you on your feet as you start your professional life, and wouldn't be exposed to automation. I think that's a key concern for a lot of young professionals I interview.
Very quickly, if there's any insights you could have for those who are watching, who are about to go into college, or parents with college-age kids who haven't gone across this Rubicon, How should they think about college?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I talk to career coaches at schools, many colleges have a career center, and they basically say, start thinking about what comes after graduation well sooner than you would expect. Your freshman year, start thinking about internships, start applying for things, networking well earlier than you expect to make those connections and hopefully land on your feet.
And look out for those industries I just mentioned. Lindsay Ellis, The Wall Street Journal. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.